I'm stuck. Alright, this is a total disaster. Oh, I'm hooked into the wall. Oh, error. Let's probably fix this, Dabs. There we go. Nope. Oh, that's not what I wanted either.
We could go with the slides. So that's, you could really see on that demo right there that it was really capturing like one-to-one what I was doing in VR. We also had custom events to see, I stuck in wall, stuck in wall, stuck in wall, stuck in wall, right? So if you run that and you see that, it's like, okay, well I gotta, probably fix my bugs. And this kind of, made us realize that, analytics for immersive content, you need much more granular information. You can't just say tapped buy button, tapped add to cart, and tapped, that's literally 3 events plus metadata, which is actually not that much, right? So we can actually tell you in real time, like, you can set this up in the SDK as many hertz as you want, but per 10 times a second or 5 times a second, data recording, you can play that back in real time. And this granularity is really needed for VR because there's so much that you can do. It's exponentially higher than traditional media. Next slide, please. And so this kind of made us think about, okay, it's great that we have sort of 2 parts of a feedback loop of VR development, right? We can tell you kind of when you launch your game, all the metrics, all the data, all the boring, funny, Excel, CSV stuff. We can also tell you kind of where people went and what they did, but there's kind of a 3rd piece missing in that cycle is like, how did they feel? So that's kind of the 3rd thing we're building right now. If you can go to the next slide. Right, so we're going to start doing stuff like this, where if you're a developer and you're in beta or early access or something like that, you have no idea if people like your game, and you're not going to start tracking them down on forums. You can do something like this, right? So if you lose a level, did you have fun, right? And then you go into our dashboard and you see, show me the people that did not have fun and refunded the game. Okay, well, they obviously did X, Y, or Z. Let's fix that, and so they won't refund it next time. Our ROI goes up, and we don't lose sales. We don't get people messaging me on Twitter. Next slide, please. So our thesis is kind of you install one SDK, which is available for Unity and Unreal, and you go through the whole process. So you make all these API calls, as many custom ones as you want. User picked up important item, user made important purchase, user got mad and threw their headset on the floor, and then you can just, with one API and one SDK, you record all these things and you play them back in each session, right? So you can see, go granular as you want, see the user section, and you can also see all of the data, all the metrics, and really like how they felt during the game. So next slide, please. Yeah, make VR great. Not again, because it hasn't been great yet. But it will be. And so yeah, visit us at cognitivevr.co if you're interested. I'll be outside later. Yeah, thank you.
Very exciting stuff, and absolutely much needed information if you want to find out what exactly people are doing. Yeah, VR is definitely one of those things that you'll always be surprised by what a user finds in your application. All right. So next up, we have David Combs from NVIDIA. We'll be talking about the NVIDIA VR Funhouse, one of the most interesting applications that will push your computer to the absolute limit, and has some of the most interesting kind of fluid dynamics, hair dynamics, and stuff going on there. But David will tell you more. So let's give David a warm welcome.
How you guys doing? So this morning when I woke up, I was lying in bed thinking, oh, I've got to go to the SVVR thing tonight. I better have a shave. And I really didn't want to get out of bed. And I was on Facebook and I saw something about self-driving car engineers now being worth $10 million each, and about how 20% of the cars in the world will be self-driving in 18 months, whatever it was. I'm like, I don't want more cars on the road, I don't want more driving, I want to be able to do stuff in VR. And then I was talking to some other people, and I was saying I'm doing this thing tonight, and this guy who's kind of my friend was like, yeah, I want to do my doctorate in VR. And he's a guy who he designs dinosaur models for museums in New Zealand, and he wants to start doing dinosaur installations using VR. And I thought that was really interesting. What's really interesting, I've never met this guy. You know, he and I just happened to be on some group on Facebook that's about sculpture. So it's like we're starting to inhabit different spaces. We inhabit the real world. Facebook it's like an embodied space where you're having relationships with people at one level of interaction, but then you've got something like VR or augmented reality where you're having interaction at a different level. It's a whole new way for human beings to be able to create. I'd love to be able to get into VR with Dean and be able to see his dinosaur models that he's creating, and I think that'd be an amazing thing to be able to do. So super excited about VR, but back to what I'm supposed to be talking about tonight. So NVIDIA is the leader in visual computing. We make GPUs that are used for deep learning, power the backbone of the internet for all this stuff that Facebook and Google are doing with intelligent search, all kinds of artificial intelligence, getting really good at doing things like predicting breast cancer, or self-driving cars is a huge thing for us right now. We're getting pretty good at teaching cars to drive. Eric does that. Just put you on the spot. But also, obviously, we do video games, we do professional visualization for people doing product design. We also do pretty much any film you see is going to be built with NVIDIA stuff. What I want to talk about tonight is Funhouse. It's a game we made, and we made it to demo some technology, but then it was so much fun and people really enjoyed it that we decided to release it as a product. We put it out on Steam, so anybody can download it and play it for free if they've got a Vive. It is, honestly, I think it's the best first experience. If you've never tried VR before, it is a great experience, and it's a great experience to show people for the first time. If someone comes to your house and they want to try VR, it's a great starting place. So let's go to the first slide. So Funhouse is a carnival. So in the basic model, there's 6 different things you can try. So you can do some archery, you can throw a ball at some objects and try to break them. There's a shooting gallery, a couple of other things. So let's just go through the technology that we put into this thing. So next slide. So the first thing we did was we put Hairworks in. So Hairworks is our hair rendering technology. We put it on these goofy little mole characters, but you can see here, we've put that into AAA games that are as good as Hollywood movies. We've got awesome looking fur in all kinds of games. And we support that with a set of free tools for authoring the hair. So this lets anybody who wants to create awesome looking hair for a video game or for a movie do that. And we even have people who actually just download this stuff and they really like making hair. And that's what they do. They just create beautiful looking hair and upload videos on YouTube. It's kind of cool. Next slide. Okay, so Flex is a particle-based simulation system for doing physics. So traditionally in physics, you weren't really able to mix liquids and solids, but with Flex, we can mix them together because we're using particles and then building out surfaces around them. So inside a funhouse, you can squirt goo into the clowns' mouths and it inflates balloons, which is pretty cool. But we've done all sorts of other really cool things with it. One of the best demos is our cereal bowl. So it's a cereal bowl, and you put Cheerios in, and you pour milk in, and the Cheerios rise to the top. It's kind of cool. Next slide. Okay, so Flow is our combustible fluids and fire simulator. So we can do things like